Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm talking all about self-care and mental health and the things that I do when I'm feeling low and I'm feeling down, just things that really help me to kind of bring me back up or just feel better. So the reason I want to share this is because years ago my mental health was quite bad and I personally didn't know how to deal with it. I didn't know what to do to make myself feel better. I didn't know that I could make myself feel better. I kind of just carried on in a way that I think a lot of people do, which is, distracting yourself with friends, going out, drinking, anything that's kind of a distraction from your own feelings and your own thoughts. That's what I used to do anyway. Like if I was feeling really rubbish, that was a sign to me, like go out drinking or, be around loads of people so that you're just not on your own. And I think getting into that habit makes us think that we can't be alone, and it makes us kind of afraid to be alone really, because we don't know what to do. We don't know how to deal with our own feelings and emotions and thoughts. So over the years I've been like a massive believer in the power of self-care, especially when it comes to looking after our mental health. And mental health is just something that affects so many of us. Like today it's quite scary really. It's amazing that people are kind of talking about it more these days. However, it is still definitely something that people don't like to talk about. So it is good when we see those increasing numbers of people actually talking about it, but then seeing the amount of people that are suffering is quite scary as well. And it's important to remember as well, like you don't need to be diagnosed clinically depressed or have anxiety disorder to actually feel depressed, to feel anxious. Like us as human beings are going to experience things throughout our lives that are going to make us feel that way, and the two can be interlinked. If you experience something traumatic growing up or any time throughout your life, that can actually impact your biochemistry, that can actually be a reason for someone's depression, for someone's anxiety. So it's important to understand that like you don't need to fit into a certain label to actually be like, okay, my mental health isn't great and I need to work on it. Now I know a lot of people will have different things that they do, and that's absolutely fine. I'm kind of just sharing the things that I know work for me. So if you're someone that doesn't really know where to start, or you're someone that is open to trying new things and maybe wants to learn new things and ways that you can kind of help make yourself feel better when you are having those kind of down days. Obviously the more kind of information like this that we get out there, the more people we can help, and that's the goal really, is just to kind of normalize mental health, healing, self-care in general, and also just to share any information that we have, because that's the thing, like if I had known the things that I do now before, like it would have been so much easier for me. And I know how tough it can be, especially when we just don't really know where to start. So I think it's always important to share. If you know something that helps, if you know something that works, then just share, because it can it can save a life essentially. So first off, I want to make an important point about actually recognizing, being able to recognize in yourself how you're feeling, what's going on, what's causing it. And differentiating between, right, I need to speak to someone, and right, I can handle this on my own. Like, of course, there are times when we need to speak to people, and you will know yourself if this is something that you can sort out on your own, or if this is something like, no, I really need to speak to someone. So most of the time for me, I like to deal with things on my own. I find that helps the most, is just kind of having that alone time, practicing that self-care, doing the things that I know get me in a good headspace. But there are times where I need to speak to people. So like, for example, like my husband is amazing. Like I'm so lucky to have him. Like I can talk to him about absolutely anything. Like sometimes I will do everything I'm going to discuss in this video and I still feel a bit crap. And at that point then, that's when I will talk to my husband about it. Like I don't even need to say it to him. Like he will know just by looking at me. He's like, what's up? Sits me down, asks me what's up, then I'll just tell him what's going on in my head, what I'm feeling. And if it's not him, sometimes it's my mum, sometimes it's my sisters. Like if we look closely enough, we have always got people around us that care. There is always someone that cares, even if it's a stranger, there is always someone that cares. I know what it feels like to like feel like you don't have anyone to talk to. I think it's important that there will always be people out there that will listen. Know when you need to speak to someone and just do it. Just talk to someone. It will honestly take such a weight off your shoulders when you actually just share how you're feeling and you're not dealing with it all alone. And sometimes we don't want to talk to people, and that's fine. Like, I can be a bit of a recluse when I'm going through a really tough time. I can kind of shut the world off and just, you know, immerse myself in whatever I think is gonna be the best for my healing, and that's fine. Like, if that's what you feel like doing, like, no one will know your body or your mind as well as you. You will know in yourself what you need to do, what feels right. Talking to people is like so important, but it's even more important being able to look after ourselves and be able to have that alone time and know how to feel strong on our own as well. I know that from my experience, there are certain things that will make me feel better, and that is why I want to share them with you in this video. So again, like I said, it's really just about listening to your body, listening to, you know, understanding why you're feeling bad. Are you feeling bad about a certain situation that's just happened? Or are you just feeling bad in general? Like, sometimes, you know, it can be like a really grey day like today, and sometimes it can just make us feel crap. Like, that is just, it's just the way it is, you know? So it's just about identifying that and thinking, right, this is what's making me feel crap, because obviously, depending on what it is, different things are going to work in different ways. So I'm going to get into what helps me the most when I'm feeling down. So one thing that I think is just so underrated is baths. Like, taking a bath is just therapy to me. Like, it is just brilliant. So I didn't have a bath in my house for like most of my life, really. I think until I moved to England, actually, I didn't actually have a bath in my house. So I have been embracing the bath. Like, if you have a bath, use it. Like, if you're feeling depressed or you're feeling anxious, sometimes a shower is just like too much. So I find like a bath, I can kind of always be bothered to have a bath because I know as well how good it will make me feel. And the thing about baths is, like, even if you don't quite know what's up with you or how to fix it, a bath is just this brilliant time to kind of just connect and just really kind of think about how you're feeling, you know, what do you need, and then you can kind of go from there. So I'll always start with a bath. If I'm feeling particularly negative about something, I will always put pink Himalayan salt in it. So pink Himalayan rock salt is an amazing detoxer for the body. It's really good for like cleansing negative energy and just kind of making you feel really good. It's got really good energy. And I also always put some lavender. So if I'm feeling bad, I always put some lavender on. Like, I've got some on right now, and I just absolutely love lavender oil. Like, essential oils are amazing. I've got a really lovely collection of essential oils. However, lavender is just absolutely my favorite. Like, I don't think there's any oil that I love as much as it. It's like, just smelling it just makes me feel like safe and comforted and calm. Like, honestly, if you've never smelled lavender, even like literally just smelling it is just like getting a hug from the universe. Like, it's just lovely. It's just so relaxing and calming, and yeah, it's kind of hard to explain other than it's just the bomb. Like, so I will not only just like put this on myself, but I'll drop it in my bath as well. So it's kind of like just getting nice and steamed up with like the salt and the lavender. You can of course get like lavender bath salts, which are even better, which is pink Himalayan salt and lavender mixed together. I've run out, so I'm kind of just doing two separate ones, but I will link down below a really nice lavender bath salt that I absolutely love, as well as this lavender oil. And then while I'm in the bath, you know, again, like, depending on how I'm feeling, I might want to listen to something. I might want to listen to something positive, might want to listen to kind of like meditation music, or I might just want to be completely silent and just like with my own thoughts. And it's at that time that I can then decide, right, what do I want to do next? What is going to make me feel better next? So once I've had a nice bath, I will get nice and cozy and comfy. And then, you know, if I'm feeling, for example, down about my body, not necessarily just how it looks, but if you've been following my channel, you'll know that I have had like several health struggles. So, you know, sometimes I have felt really down about my body, and I'm kind of like, why is this happening to me? You know, and kind of like getting angry with myself, getting angry with my body. I haven't had one of those days in a while, thank goodness. But over the past 6 months, I definitely have felt like that a lot. And in times like that, you know, where you've really kind of like fallen out with your body, or you're just unhappy with yourself in general, then something that really helps is yoga. Like, absolutely amazing. I love yoga so much. Not just is it an amazing kind of exercise, like it's really good for flexibility, for toning, for strengthening, but just getting that connection back with your body and kind of just, you know, rebuilding that relationship with yourself and that love with yourself, which is something that that can kind of get quite lost today, especially with us comparing ourselves to everyone and, you know, with social media and everything. So I think doing things like that and finding things that work for you, like you might hate yoga, I don't know, but you know, if you haven't tried it, then definitely give it a go. Like for me, it helps so much. And again, sometimes I don't feel like doing yoga. Sometimes that is just not what I want to do, and that's fine as well. You know, you've got to find what you want to do. Sometimes I want to read a book. Sometimes I want to listen to a positive audio book or something, or, you know, a talk on YouTube or someone that's kind of got solutions, you know, rather than like negativity, like watching the news or watching even just like reality TV and stuff. Like sometimes you just need to fill your brain with positivity, and it can just help so much, you know, at just kind of helping you realize that you have got that control and you have got that power. And you know, it's just to make you feel more positive and give you hope. Like one thing I absolutely love to do is kind of, you know, if you've kind of got like some kind of struggle in life, like anything, I love to find people's success stories. So rather than picking out your differences of like, oh, I couldn't do that because she's this, or they've managed to do this because they're this. Like instead of picking out the differences, pick out the similarities, you know. Find people that have gone through something that you are currently going through and look at them now, like how living a successful, abundant, happy life, or whatever it is for you, you know. So I'll give you an example. So with like my PCOS struggles and stuff, I was finding success stories from people. I was finding people that were on the same journey as me and that were, you know, managed to come out the other end in a good place, because you will always find people with success stories, you know, no matter what you're going through, whether it's an illness or a breakup or a job loss or anything that makes you feel crap, or even a loss of a loved one, or something horrific happens to you, you know, you'll be able to find people that have made it through the other side. And it's those similarities that are really good to kind of surround yourself with, because it will make you feel more positive, it will give you hope, and it will kind of help you to drive you forward, you know, even if it's just your mental health that you're feeling really bad about. And of course, you know, we can judge ourselves so much. And if you're struggling with your mental health and then you're feeling bad about having mental health, you're embarrassed or you're ashamed or you're annoyed with yourself or frustrated, you know, think about it, that's going to make you feel so much worse. So it's just about like, you know, surrounding yourself with these people who have managed to change their story into something positive. That's something that really helps me personally. Also, just, you know, you might not be into this, but for me, I have just been a crystal girl from day one. Like literally since I was a kid with my mum, we've always loved crystals. I've always collected them together. Like some of the crystals I've got, I've literally had since I was a child, and they're like so precious to me. I rely on them massively as well, you know, when I am having a hard time and I've had my bath and I'm sat down and I'm kind of working on what to do next, then I will have my crystals with me for that extra energy, for that extra support, and for that extra healing, because, you know, they are amazing as well. For example, my go-to crystals would be amethyst, which is amazing for kind of anxiety and stress. Rose quartz, which is amazing for, you know, love and self-love and comforting and nurturing and healing. You know, especially if we're being really down on ourselves. Clear quartz, which is just wonderful. Like there's so many different crystals. I probably will do a video on it, and just kind of all the things that they do help with, because personally I just absolutely love them. And you know, if that is up your street, or if you've never tried it before, then, you know, give it a go. Get some crystals in your life, because they do really help. They can really make you feel better. And the last thing really that I want to cover today that I do when I'm really feeling crap is getting a pen and paper out, like, and just writing a lot. So I'm quite a creative person, and, you know, I've got to be creating something. I've got to be creating like videos, or I've got to be creating, you know, writing or cooking or doing something. That's just who I am. Like I need that outlet, I need that expression. You know, if you're a creative person as well, you'll understand what I mean. Like, so I find that writing things down, one, is just a really good outlet, and two, it's a really positive exercise. So for example, again, depending on what's making you feel down, how you're feeling, for example, if you're just kind of having a lot of doubts about yourself, you know, write down 10 things that you love about yourself. Like I know that's on a bad day that might be like, oh my god, what? Like when I'm feeling really bad, I literally forget that I'm good at anything, and I can be really like harsh on myself, and I kind of forget that I've got talents and gifts. And that's so important to remember. Like, we've all got gifts, we've all got qualities, we've all got things that, you know, we bring to this world and we add to this world. and it's a better place because of us. So it's kind of just, it's really important just to remember that. And it's not based on external things. It doesn't matter how much money you make, what job you have, how you look, you know, what qualifications you have. Like, yes, they're achievements, but they're not like your gifts. Your true gifts are within you. Your true gifts are your essence, your heart, you know, what you can do for this world. And it's really, really important just to remember we are all special. We all have gifts. And it's just a matter of reminding ourselves, you know, because if you're like me, when you're feeling down, you can literally forget all about it. And, you know, actually remembering them will instantly make you feel better. So yeah, like what I like to do is I like to write down things that are good about me, again, relating to whatever I'm feeling crap about. Just think about it, just jog your memory. It might take you a little while at first to be like, ooh, I don't really know what's good about me, like I don't really like anything about me, but just anything that you love about you, or things that other people see in you, how you're there for people, how you're a good friend, a good, you know, whatever it is that you are, just write it all down. Things about your appearance, not that that really matters, but if you're having a particular down day about your appearance, then write down some things that you like about yourself, whether that's your eyes, your nose, I don't know, whatever it is that you like about yourself, just write it all down. And another thing that I love to write down is kind of thinking about what is making you feel the most down, getting that negative thought, that negative opinion of yourself, and actually writing down the very opposite. So I'll give you an example. So when I was you know, my health wasn't great, it was affecting my mental health. As most of you probably know, if you do suffer with PCOS, it can really affect your mental health. Just the whole biochemical imbalance it can cause anxiety, it can cause depression. It's just not nice. So while I was kind of going through all the other symptoms, I was feeling really crap about myself. And at the time I was wanting to start making videos again, but I hated how I looked, I hated all of this stuff. And, you know, before I started making videos again, I sat myself down and I wrote down all of these things. Like, for example, like a feeling I was having was, oh, I'm not very good at speaking on videos. So instead of that, I would write, every day I'm getting better at speaking, or something like that, which is true. Practice makes you better. Of course it does. Practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect doesn't exist. Practice makes you better, and that's all you need, you know, as long as you're progressing in some way, whether it's tiny little bits, that's enough, you know, and just be proud of those little things. We can focus so much on the negatives, and it can just really get us in the way of moving forward and getting better. So those are just some kind of like little examples. But like, you're dealing with, I don't know, heartbreak or something like that, all of the negative things you're feeling about yourself, turn it around, write down the opposite, because it's just perspective, isn't it? It's just perspective. There's no fact about it. It's not a fact that you're unlovable. That's not true. It's not a fact that you're worthless, you know? Again, that's not true. We can choose to look at either side of the coin. Whatever side we choose to believe, that's what's correct, you know? So focusing on the positives, you know, as simple as that sounds, but, you know, literally focusing on the positive version of that negative thought is actually going to help us so much. And it's not a case of like, oh, I've just thought something positive, therefore I feel amazing. Like, that's not the case. This takes practice, you know, and even if it's just for 10 minutes that you kind of feel a bit uplifted by it all, which I'm sure you will, you know, just feeling that kind of gratitude for yourself, just feeling grateful for everything that you are and everything that you've got in your life right now, that will make you feel better. So it's just about kind of doing all of these little things that we know make ourselves feel better, and just to get us through a rubbish day. Just to finish up the video, I just want to say, you know, like, if you are feeling crap, then cancel your plans. You know, you stay at home if you want to. You don't kind of owe an explanation to anyone if you are feeling rubbish. The people that care about you and the people that love you will understand. So, you know, if you need to take a day out and look after your mental health, even if that's a day off work or a week off work or whatever it is that you need to do, depending on your circumstances and depending on how bad you feel right now, then you take that time out for yourself. Take the time out, do the things that will make you feel better, speak to people that care about you, you know, and you will be okay. You will get through it. You know, I'm sure you've got through it before. We've all been there before, and we'll all be there again. But just knowing that we've got through it before means that we can do it again, but this time stronger, more resilient, and just more capable than ever. And yes, I'm going to leave it there, guys. I hope this was somewhat helpful to any of you. There's a lot more things that I haven't covered in this video. I just didn't want to make it too long, even though it probably already is quite long. But if you do like these kind of mental health videos, you'd like me to make more, then please let me know. I hope you can put some of this into practice today. If you are feeling crap, go and get yourself a bath, go and get yourself a nice cup of whatever you like, and I hope you feel better soon. You will get through this. We can all get through this, and even if we can't do it alone, we can do it together. So enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.